Was I a beard during my marriage? So I recently read an article called How to Tell If Your Man is on the Down Low. And it speaks about how if you are with a man that is addicted to Pornhub, that he may be on the down low. And it lists 10 things or 10 signs that your man may be on the down low. So, number 1 is overly macho, too concerned with impressing males. Number 2, insecure or insecurely uses social networks to jealously keep tabs on his woman. Number 3, has only one type of woman he's attracted to. Number 4, would rather watch porn than make love to a woman. Number 5, obsessed with twerking, big butts, and butt play. Number 6, uninterested in foreplay or romance and only wants to, quote unquote, get his. Number 7, spends more time at the gym with the guys than romancing his woman. Number 8, always hides his phone like it's G14 classified. Number 9, speaks to his woman like she is one of his homies. And number 10, flashes of abuse and passive aggression. So when I looked at this list, and there were also paragraphs for explanation for each of these points, I started to wonder about my marriage. And what I have not talked about is that during my marriage, there were long periods of time where my husband would not be intimate with me. And the longest period of time was 2 years. And it started toward the last 5 years of the marriage. And in the last 5 years of marriage, it started being like once a month, things like that. But even there was in the middle of the marriage, there was a 5-year period, well, I should say 5.5-year period, where he pretty much packed his stuff and took a job out of state. So even in that 5-year period, there was like a period where we would only have sex twice a month, or sometimes even once a month, because he just physically was not in the same location as me. And toward the end of the marriage, I remember there was times where he would not come to sleep in the bed with me. And he just basically told me he was impotent. And I just never could wrap my mind around why my man did not want me. And one of the things I noticed was he would rather watch porn than to make love to me. Now, having read this list and having thought back to everything that went on, I gotta say it's possible that he's bisexual and doesn't know it. And what I mean by that is he was always chasing after women, but one of the points of contention is that he started to prefer anal sex and fellatio, and not vaginal sex. And he was not very interested in pleasing me. He was not interested in foreplay. The whole idea of me enjoying sex, that kind of really didn't register for him. And as I was reading this article, it kind of states that if a man much prefers having quote unquote gay sex with his woman as opposed to vaginal sex, then that is suspect. So, I mean, it was a point where he really wanted anal sex and not vaginal sex. And I'm thinking vaginal sex is mutually pleasurable. And at the time, even when we were having vaginal sex, it was kind of like he was getting his and there was no thought of like making it pleasurable for me. And during the same time, this is I don't really endorse this anymore, but during that particular time, there was a real breakdown of trust. So I was allowed, and we were in marriage counsel, but it was like this agreement that I could look through his phone every single day to make sure that he wasn't doing anything. And be honest with you, now I look back on that was just total bullshit. Like, if you gotta do all that, there is no trust. You don't need to be with that person. And I will never engage in a relationship like that again, where it's basically I just did not trust this man. So if I have to go through his phone and then he's finding different ways to hide stuff, and he's downloading like second phone number apps, and then like the trust is broken. It's irreparably broken. There's no point. You're in a situation where you gotta be going through somebody's phone. It's a wrap. Relationship, marriage is over. So during that time when I would look through the phone, there were a lot of videos that he used to look at where he was watching women with big butts twerking. And also, it was a situation where he was really concerned about impressing his college buddies more so than impressing me. And I remember one time he went to a convention with his college buddies, and he got hotel rooms for them. And I thought that was very strange. Like, so it was like this convention he went to, and he was like, he really wanted to make sure that these guys had a room to stay in. Why is a heterosexual man getting hotel rooms for other heterosexual men? Now, I never found it never crossed my mind that he could possibly be down low, because I never found any gay porn or anything on any of his devices during that time that would have led me to believe that he was gay. But what I'm going to say is that there was a period of time where he kept on saying, like, defensively, like, the reason why, he's like, you gotta understand that, he's like, the reason why I cheat on you is because I am a heterosexual man. I am attracted to women, right? Any heterosexual man is going to be attracted to women, as if, just because you're a heterosexual man, you have no self-control. And also he kept on saying, and I'm not a sissy. And he said it very defensive. I'm not a sissy, and I'm a heterosexual man, and I'm attracted to women, and blah, blah, blah. And that's why I cheat on you. And he was cheating on me, as far as I know, with women. But there was a big emphasis on, I am not a sissy, I'm not a punk. And he said it in a very defensive way. So, and when I had said to him, like, yo, why are you want this anal sex so bad? Like, that seems kind of like gay. He's like, oh, it's just another I can't remember what he said, but it was just another a sexual pleasurable experience for him that I, as his wife, should have been willing and eager. And then it was kind of like I had tried it, and I did it a couple times, and I did not enjoy it. And he was like, oh, I really thought you would eventually start to enjoy it. I'm like, no, it's not enjoyable. It's painful. I don't want to do this. And it's like, now that you done made me do this, I'm kind of losing respect for you. And I didn't really think about it at the time, but I'm like, basically, this article is saying if you're a heterosexual man, you're attracted to a woman's femininity. And there was just a period of time where I would not arouse him. And there was a period of time where it was like he started taking erectile dysfunction medication. And I think it went generic. So he went kind of like directly to like a direct wholesaler. He started getting those pills because he needed that in order to be aroused after a while. It was like he had watched so much porn, he could not get aroused naturally. This article says if a man goes extended periods of time without contacting the woman he's in a relationship with, that's suspect. If it has been days and you have yet to hear from your man who is, quote, away on business, look at the type of business he's away on. Work is never excuse as to why a man cannot text back, call back, or contact his woman. There's Wi-Fi everywhere. There are Starbucks and McDonald's in third world countries. Skype is free. Email is only a Wi-Fi signal away. If a male is not contact woman, it's because he simply does not want to. No excuses. Either take the hint or investigate. That's one of the things it says. So yeah, point number 6, uninterested in foreplay or romance, only wants to get his. If a male doesn't have a romantic side with you as his woman, beware, that's suspect. Yes, he was not romantic. And here's the thing, when I got into the non-exclusive dating relationship, I think I was just like an easy target for that particular man because he was just so romantic. And he took his time, and he lit candles, and he played soft music, and he caressed me, and he like engaged in foreplay with me, and he just was very generous, and he was very concerned about me enjoying it, and he took pleasure in me enjoying our sexual encounters. And when I was married, it wasn't like that. It wasn't a lot of hugging and cuddling, and I wanted to hug and cuddle, and he would get irritable when I wanted to try to hug and cuddle, and he didn't want to sleep in the bed with me. So let's go back to what this says. Point number 6, uninterested in foreplay or romance. If a male doesn't have a romantic side with you as his woman, beware that suspect. Heterosexual men love to cuddle and massage their woman's body, treating her body like a fat kid treats a bowl of candy. Nothing arouses a heterosexual man more than watching, seeing, and making a woman climax. It makes his toes curl. It actually makes him erect to witness it. If a male only wants to get his climax and does not care or put forth effort to ensure his woman gets hers, that is suspect. When a man tells a woman he prefers to receive oral sex from a woman over vaginal sex, he's subconsciously trying to tell you he's not aroused by the female sex organ. If a male cannot be aroused by the natural femininity of a woman and her holy grail without her behaving extremely lustful like a porn star, that male is either on the down low and hiding it from you or on the down low but notes to himself. And when I read this in the article, I was like, maybe he is just not aware of or he's in denial of his sexuality, because it was like he was so concerned about getting his. And then you think about it, I guess, and I don't know this because I'm a heterosexual woman. I'm attracted to men, but I'm gonna guess, and I guess nowadays there's so many depiction of like gay sex. But I'm gonna guess based off of what I've seen like on just television shows, it's like when a man is having sex with a man, it's like only one person can, I guess, really climax at a time. I'm guessing. Like, so if you're getting oral sex from someone, you're not concerned about the other person's. It's not about mutual pleasure. It's about one person's just pleasuring the other. And I think that's what I'm guessing that's what happens in homosexual encounters. But I know in my non-exclusive dating relationship, we would have sexual encounters, and it was pleasurable for the both of us. It was mutually pleasurable, and I'll say it again, I think that made me just an easy target to kind of fall into that situation, because I had went almost 2 decades with have not having experience. And now I'm really thinking about, I have went almost 2 decades of my adult life and not experienced a true heterosexual sexual encounter where a man is aroused by my natural femininity. And you gotta understand, like, I wear nice makeup, I wear nice dresses, I wear nice smelling perfume, I have soft skin, and I laugh and I smile a lot, and I smiled at him and I laughed at his jokes. And that's one of the things the guy I was dating after my marriage was really, really attracted to. And honestly, he kind of looked at me and was like, why are you not more confident than you are? Like, you are beautiful, you have beautiful skin, and I'm thinking, like, all those things he was kind of like relishing in. When I was married, my husband at the time just never really seemed intrigued or aroused by any of those things. So I guess I thought that was normal. Like, so it's interesting, to see. And I guess going forward, I have to have 100% sure of himself, a heterosexual man that likes and is aroused by the natural femininity of a woman. And I remember even just like, I just gotta say it, it's just like with this man, non-exclusive dating relationship, this man was like, your vagina is wonderful and phenomenal. And he would just smile when he used to talk about, my vagina game. And he would just look at me with longing and yearning, like, please, can I just sample you? And, he would kiss me and he would caress me and he would rub my back and kiss my breasts. And afterwards, he would just hold on to me, and want to sleep next to me. Like, he wanted me to sleep next to him in the bed afterwards. It was, that was just an amazing experience, and I just did not get to experience that within my marriage. So now that I'm looking back to the marriage, how it was kind of like he was just kind of like getting his get up, or only want oral sex or only want anal sex, and be happier to get his boys a hotel room for a convention and hang out, wanted to spend more time hanging out with his friends than wanting to come home to me. Now, at first I thought, oh, he just didn't want me. Maybe he wanted another woman or another type of woman. And that might be true still. But in general, now I'm learning, men don't have, it said in that same article, men don't necessarily have only one type of woman they find attractive, because the main thing heterosexual men want is vagina, and all women, short, tall, skinny, fat, ugly, pretty, smart, dumb, have vaginas, and that's the main thing that they're trying to get. So now I look back, I'm wondering, was I a beard? So I think that's all I have for now. You can tell me in the comments what you think. Please like and subscribe, or dislike. Doesn't matter. Thank you for listening.